I have a good news and a bad news for you. Which one would you want to hear first? What? Good news or a bad news? How many for good news? And how many for bad news? Oh. So a lot of people want to hear good news only first. The good news is, mine is the last session for you. And the bad news is, I'm not going to finish soon. So I'm setting the expectation. Please expect the session to be very long. It's up to you which hand you want to see. If I remove this hand, so my session is going to be very small. It's up to you how you want to take it. We all are Indians and we like watching movies or we like to play and watch cricket. Everybody would have one of these two hobbies on their CVs. I was talking to one candidate. I saw the CV, and in the CV one of the hobbies mentioned was gardening. And I asked a question only about gardening. The interview went on for 45 minutes and we discussed only gardening, because I wanted to see what's the integrity on the CV. How true is the CV? And how much can a person explain about his own hobby? Unfortunately, the candidate could not tell me anything about any of the flowers in the world. And that was his hobby of gardening. So coming back to the presentation that we have now, I was thinking that since my session is going to be the last session, what should I start with and what should I end with? And what should be in the middle? So I thought, let me make it a sandwich. Soft at the top, soft at the bottom, and everything else in the middle. So the hobbies that we have, which is either watching movies or cricket, in my presentation also, it will be similar to that. When you have a good match, people want to watch it again. When there's a good movie, people see it 2-3 times. My presentation is something like that. Murli has already spoken a lot about Vee Technologies. Rajesh has spoken about Vee Technologies. Shubha came, he spoke about HireMee also. The VC was here, he spoke about the Periyar University as well. So what should I do now? So I'll put all effort together and put it in this year. How many of you have good fathers? How many of you have good fathers? Put all your fathers together, you get my father. So to start with, my name is Athar and I head the talent acquisition. I hire talented people from your colleges. If you don't give, I will hire from somewhere else. So it's better you give your students to us. We will help them get nurtured. We will help them grow. How they will grow, we will either let you know now or during the session through the rest of the day or tomorrow. Please speak to any one of us. We always will be available. I'm not sure if I can or anyone can put all the things of the world together in one presentation. But it's more important for all of you to understand that it's you who have to ask. I don't know what you don't know. So you have to ask and we will let you know rest of it. To begin with, that's the journey that we have of the Sona Group. It started in 1920. It starts from this side and it goes right up to that side. It's into education. All of you know about Sona College. Enough has been spoken about it. Dr. Kada was here in the morning. He's gone with the VC for some other function. But that's how it started. Into education, then into textile, then into getting the first satellite to India. Then finally getting into Vee Technologies in 21. Then finally, we got to other companies also. We opened some more companies. We got some awards. I'll cover most of this in my rest of the presentation. But that's how it started. The journey started in 1920, and right now we are in 2022. So it's more than 100 years old. So definitely in these 100 years, a lot would have happened and a lot would have changed. But we are going to talk about how the company was formed and what are the associated companies. The Sona Group consists of all these companies here. Vee Technologies is one of them. HireMee is also one of them. So under Sona Group, there are all these companies, and we hire for all these companies. So every student that you have, anybody who walks into the doors of our office, has an opportunity to get a job in one of these companies. Either we find the talent through the assessment tool of HireMee, and then finally we go through the next round of interviews and get a student selected. But as we are speaking today, today's interaction is for Vee Technologies. We have come to give you a glimpse of what is Vee Technologies and any kind of questions that you might have. Vee Technologies is run by Mr. Choco Valiappa. He is the CEO of the company. He also happens to be the vice chairman of the Sona College, and he runs multiple businesses. A dynamic personality. He loves technology a lot. That's why Vee Technologies is full of a lot of technologies. We use technology as a source, and that's where the centers that we have, the delivery centers in, we have the headquarter of America, which is in New York. We have headquarter of India in Bangalore. Then we have delivery centers in Bangalore, Salem, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Philippines. These are some of the centers that we have all across, having close to about 7,000 people working with us within Vee Technologies. The mission of Vee Technologies is very simple. We globalize success to make lives better. All of you are allowed to use your phones. If you want to take some pictures, please take. If you get calls, please attend to the calls. If you get some messages, please revert to the messages also. However, please pay some attention here as well. Because if you lose something here, you might not know what to tell to your students when you go back to your colleges. I'll continue so that you don't have to waste time looking at me. You can read as well. In case if it is not readable, you can take pictures. And as Rajesh mentioned, there are standees all around. After the session gets over, you can take the pictures of that also. There's nothing confidential. Everything can be taken and you can go through it again. All this put together, these are the services that we are into. We have healthcare, medical coding, medical billing, and insurance. These are three of our big businesses that we have in Vee Technologies. We also have engineering into mechanical, electrical, plumbing, AEC services, and product engineering. Any kind of engineering, we have that business. We are into analytics and IT. IT technology, everybody is aware of it. Very simple. No rocket science in understanding what's IT. Some more businesses that we have, we cover logistics, media, finance and accounting, strategy and consulting, legal process outsourcing, e-governance, HireMee, the assessment company, Mycelium, Sona, Valiappa Foundation, Sona Homes, Sona Yukti, and Defense. These are some of the businesses, or rather most of the businesses that are there within Vee Technologies. So all the students that you have, no matter in which stream they are and what their aspirations are, but all the students would have a chance to get through Vee Technologies any one of the businesses. We protect the education and at the same time we nurture them further. When they come and join us, we have a lot of things that we train them on, and all the students will have a chance to become better in their career path. As Murli mentioned, we don't just provide the jobs, we provide the career. It's very important to know what is the difference between a job and a career. Moving on, what's in it for you? All of it put together is for you. And I'm not teaching any science here, neither am I teaching technology here. Simple words, you can understand yourself. However, for the pleasure of you listening to me, you have multiple opportunities. As I mentioned in the previous slide, any kind of education, you have a job and a career to make. We have 5,000 plus operations team. We have 80% of people who are grown within the organization. Rajesh was mentioning some time back, we have people who have joined 20 years ago when the company was formed, and they're still working with us. There are people who joined as freshers just out of college, and they're still with us. They joined as freshers. Today they are working as business unit heads or general managers or assistant general managers or managers, having higher positions within the organization. That's what's called career, not just a job. They took up a job 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but today they have a career in the organization. So career is what we give. We don't give only the jobs. Moving on, there's growth to be a leader. We have attractive appraisals, and we have excellent incentive policies. I'll cover a few of them in my next few slides. Sorry. These are the current requirements. So if you add it up, if you have calculators with you, you can add, or you can just calculate in your mind how many opportunities do we have as of now and through the year. We have requirement for close to about 1,000 medical coders. I don't think in the college there would be 1,000 people who will qualify to be medical coders. That means we have opportunity for each and every one of you. We have requirements in medical billing. There are requirements in analytics and IT. There are requirements in business development, e-governance, and engineering. Some of our businesses I have not mentioned here because the numbers might be less than 50 or 100, but majority of it, if you see, is covered here. Moving on, this is the process of hiring. We use the HireMee tool, but what my colleague Shubha mentioned to you, the HireMee assessment platform for the students who are passing out. On the extreme right of the screen, if you see, we start with the initial screening. Then we have the testing, which is the HireMee assessment tool. Then we have the interview selection in the operations. Then we have the background verification, physical examination, and the final offer. Simple process, not very complicated. To make it more simple to understand, a recruiter takes one round, assessment on the HireMee tool, and the operations round. These three are the only major rounds that we have. Once that is done, of course, there's documentation, there's background verification, etc., and the person gets onboarded. Some of the processes might not have the technical assessments, but there are some businesses where we check the technical part of the knowledge of the students. This is the growth path. As I was mentioning earlier, and my colleagues have also told that people have joined as freshers, and today they are at a higher positions within the organization. So, but the path goes like this: you join as associate, then you become a senior associate, then you become a team leader, assistant manager, manager, senior manager, assistant general manager, and then executive level officers. And these opportunities stand good for each and every one. This is the same slide. I was not sure whether it will come bright or no. The benefits of working at Vee Technologies. We have a very healthy work-life balance. Whether it was pandemic or endemic, in both the stories, we have a very, very healthy work-life balance. In fact, we have people who are working from home, working from anywhere in the country for different processes. There are certain businesses wherein the employees have to come to office. However, we do not force or encourage unless and until it's very critical and important from the client side. Next point is the Mediclaim Insurance. All the employees get the benefit of insurance. We have rewards and recognitions on monthly basis. There are some businesses which have monthly and quarterly and annualized as well. Then we have the continuous learning opportunities. an inspiring and supportive team, and excellent growth opportunities. These are some of the benefits that I could highlight here for the candidates who would want to work with Vee Technologies. This is one of the offices. The picture that you see here is of the Salem office, and we are going to go here after the session gets over here. And you can see the office location. You can come inside and see for yourself how beautiful and wonderful it's going to be to work at Vee Technologies. Some points to remember, just in case if you forget. I have listed them down one by one again for your benefit. Apart from the salaries that everybody gets, there are some incentive programs also where if the performance is good, the employees are given the benefit of making some extra money. I have done well in the organization so far. I joined about 6 months back. Rajesh is going to give me nice incentives after I finish maybe one more month. So that's the incentive part of it. Second thing is about the insurance. PF and the gratuity. A lot of people feel that there are deductions. When I see the salary slip, there's so much of deductions, especially for the Provident Fund. But I remember there was a time in my career when I had some shortage of money in my pocket. And someone told me, you can withdraw PF. And trust me, it was a huge amount that I could withdraw. I'm talking about about 12, 13 years ago. So PF is something which people feel is a deduction. I feel it's an investment. It's up to you how you want to take it. If you tell your students that there's going to be PF deduction, that's a negative way of thinking. But if you say there is going to be an investment of PF, that's a positive way of telling the same thing. There's nothing hidden, nothing being sold, but it's being told in a good term. That's what we encourage all of you to please understand, that there's a PF, and gratuity is the benefit that is given to the employee. Next one is about the insurance. Insurance today is very important and critical for everybody, not just because of COVID-19 situation, but otherwise also. You never know when you might require some medical attention. Maybe for you, maybe for your family, or maybe for your near and dear one that you want to contribute in some way or the other. But medical insurance is something that's very, very important. A lot of insurances people are not even aware of. It's not just the health benefits, not just the medical attention that you can think of. There are benefits of insurance which people are not aware of. One of them can be, for example, if you are working in an organization, you slip and you fall down and you're not able to walk for 2-3 days. Generally, people would think that I'll have to take leave for 3 days. Whereas you actually have a coverage from the company as well. Not just that you get paid the salary, but you get covered for your medical expenses also. There are things that people are not aware of, what happens when the company takes insurance for the employees. I cannot be discussing in detail, but please go through you can search on Google itself what are the benefits of a company having insurance for the employees. Furthermore, if you have any questions, we are always available. You can ask and discuss one-on-one. My colleague sitting here, there's Keshwan. Keshwan, can you raise up your hand, please? Keshwan is there. He is the manager in my recruitment team. We have Sarvanan and we have Gokul. All three of them are managing the office at Salem. I especially got them here so that in case if you have any questions, don't think that they are one of the TPOs in one of the colleges. They are part of Vee Technologies. Moving on, next benefit is the skill development. The employee gets hired, but Vee Technologies invests a lot of money and time in upskilling the people. So the students of your college might come and join us with some skill sets, but they cannot make a career out of only that skill set. That skill set has to grow. I remember 20 years back, computer was not such a big thing when I started my career 22 years back. But today, without computers, we can't even think of working. In fact, when we go out, we have our office in our phones. So technology has grown. So I did not have that technology background, but I had to upskill myself to learn all those things. Vee Technologies provides this opportunity to all its employees to upskill themselves with the latest, what's in the market, what could be the requirements in the future. And that's an investment. There are trainers who have to be paid the salaries. Vee Technologies pays the salaries of those trainers to train the employees for further upskilling. Moving on, we have monthly and quarterly rewards and recognitions for the performance, for doing something good, overachieving the targets, whatever it is. There's rewards and recognition sessions that happen on monthly basis, quarterly basis, half yearly or annually. This can be reward can be in terms of it can be a monetary benefit, or it can be some souvenirs given or the certificates given. Moving on, there's leaves. Everybody takes leaves when you have a job. Currently also you have a job, all of you are working as in whatever capacity, but everybody takes leaves. But there are companies who provide the leaves which are paid leaves. So if you see, let's say if my salary is 10,000 rupees a month, and then I have to divide it by 22 working days, so you get the salary per day. Now if the company is giving you 2 days paid leave off, that means you are getting 2 days extra paid. So those calculations people don't think. In an organization like ours, if we have 15 days or 18 days paid leaves, that means you are getting paid for those many extra days. You work for 12 months. If you calculate, you work for 12 months, but you actually get paid for 13 months because of those leaves. So these are some of the benefits that you should know, and you should be talking about these benefits to your students when they come for the interviews. Moving on, I think that's the last part of it. There's an employee referral program. Every employee is eligible to refer his family or friends to come and join Vee Technologies, and they get paid for it. So imagine if it is a general 3,000 rupees per reference, and I give 5 references. 5 into 3 is 15,000 rupees. 15,000 rupees extra a person can make apart from the salary. So these are some of the benefits I wanted to jot down, so that there's more clarity about having a job and having a career with Vee Technologies. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to me, and I'll be more than glad to answer any questions if you have, whether you have it now or you have it later. I wanted to keep it light, so in case if you want to take the picture of this and keep it in your mind, Vee Technologies is not just a company that provides employment. It has been recognized all across the world. And one of the biggest awards that we have received last year was the best places to work. And this is not a bought award. It is an award given by a body which is a recognized body in the world. Getting this award of best place to work is not an easy thing. Some more awards are mentioned. I will not be talking about it, but you can note them down if you want to. That will be for your benefit of reading. Thank you so much for your patience, and these are rest of the things. They're too much to read and speak about, but I'll leave it here. In case if you want to take a picture, you can take, or if you want to just read it out, please read it out. And from my side, thank you so much for being patient and kind, and take care of yourself. Have a good day.